Aloha. It's wonderful seeing you together, brother. Let's make sure we're in tune. E major, E, A, D, G, B, E. So the takeaway from this week is let's not overcomplicate it with a lot of different vocabulary. The takeaway I was trying to get at is in the key of C, which is the easiest to teach in, no sharps, no flats, they're all naturals. We're on the same page on there. We don't say C, C sharp, E. We say C, D, E. There's no weird need to have anything weird. So when we've got C, D, E, F, G, if I get rid of my 2 and 4, my sus notes, and have just my major triad, I've got C, E, and G. You and I understand if I add my 2, my D, C, D, E, and G, I've got my major triad, but I now have a D in there. So on a C, if I add a D note, I get a note that kind of it's still major, but it's hanging out above my head down to the C. We also know about, like, let's say a G major or a D major. When I make a D major, I have my D major triad, so my D, E, F sharp, G, A, get rid of my 2 and 4. I've got D, F sharp, and A, which is that chord. Here's my D, here's my F sharp, and here's my A. Well, when I move my D and I cover the C sharp and get a very D major 7 chord, just like C major, move my first finger, I get a C major 7, because I'm influencing that C with a B note. Well, in the key of D, I'm influencing the D with a C sharp. What happens is when we play in different modal structures, we can use different keys and different scales and different modes over the top. I don't want to scare you off on modes because honestly, you already know how to do them. You just don't know you know how to do them yet. Today's exercise is going to help influence that. So what we're going to do is we're going to play a major scale, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You mentioned that going down is the harder part. I absolutely agree. So let's do that. Let's focus though on going up first. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. When we do this, see how I had to pause there? My brain doesn't work backwards. What I'd like to do is just drop out that C note and start your C major scale with the D. What happens is that turns every subsequential scale into its relative mode. If we did not do this, which I didn't explain this during the process of our lesson today, but if I were to just do C major, do 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 do, D major, do 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 do, I would have to go through all major scales. So do 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 do. And that, as you said and as we say, has no pizzazz, no spice. What we know to be true is our 1, major, our 2, minor, our 3, minor, our 4, major, our 5, major, our 6th, minor, and then our 7th is a diminished. That is the only chord out of all these. Major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, that has a super purpose. When using modal structures over a 7th chord, it doesn't really make sense unless we know how to make the other modal structures. So let's not worry about the 7th right now. Let's just worry about the 1, 4, and 5 being major, the 2, 3, and 6 being minor. Here's where we are. All you have to do to take away from this lesson this week is keep playing these fingers. C major, C, open D, E, F, open G, A, open B, C, C major to D minor. Now rather than playing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, play that same scale but omit the first note. Start with your second note and then add a note. So instead of doing C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D minor, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, D minor, E, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E minor, F major, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, F, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B diminished, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B diminished, then C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. What I just did was I used my whole step, half step, whole step, half step on each one of these, except for the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. The only one I used my major mode on was that. When I did D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, that gave me a mode called Dorian. It's no longer whole step, half step, whole step, half step. I omitted the first whole step. So it's whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. Thusly, when you add one and subtract one, it makes your modal structures. The best way to do this is to get a piece of paper, write down C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then C, but the C is an octave. 1, 8, 1, 1, and do C major scale starting with C. If you do a D major scale, you're still going to have a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, except for it's all going to be boring. It's all going to be just major chords. There's no caveat, no bread and butter. Everything becomes like just salt and pepper. What we're looking for is to express ourselves with a little bit of cinnamon, cumin, sage, rosemary. That's what modal structures do. So the best takeaway from this, on after doing this lesson, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D minor, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, D minor, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, E minor, F major, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, F minor, G, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, G major, A minor, A, B, B, C, D, 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 A minor, B diminished, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then resolution to C. After doing that this week over and over again, just getting your fingers tight, then you can do it with your movements. So C, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, E, E, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And after you do your chord and your movement with your 3-note structures, try 4-note structures. So C, C, D, E, F, C, D, D, E, F, G, D, E, E, F, G, A, F, G, A, so on and so forth, to the point where you could do C, do, 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 down, 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 down. Those are the chord movements with just 2-note variations. Then you do 3-note variations, then 4, then 5, then 6. I hope that made sense. Here's what it would look like if I was just going to do a couple versions of this. Here's C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See how I'm doing 6-note variations, only adding those, hitting a chord, going to the next chord, and moving through? What it's doing using the C major scale while omitting the note before each time, it automatically gives me my modal structure. So you don't really have to know what the name of these are in order. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Mixolydian, Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian, and then back to Ionian. 7 notes, 7 names. We know major and minor. We know Ionian and Aeolian. So what happens is when you move this whole step, half step, whole step, half step, it fundamentally changes the interval mass between each note. So a minor definitely sounds like C to D, D to E flat to F, F to G, G to A flat to B flat to C, do 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 do, and that definitely sounds different than do 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 do. A major. Here's where it makes sense. So that's your lesson 1 to keep going. It's different than your spider exercises. It helps orient ourselves with our major scale. You're doing it with all the open notes right here. After you get done with doing that, the open notes, then you move to your C with your secondary fingering, which might be a lot to do, All the way through the second and then the third. Here's where it's fun. If I were to play A minor to a D major to a G major to an A minor, the chords that you use are A minor to a D major to a G major. So A minor, D major, G. You can use A minor pentatonic over A minor. You can use a D major pentatonic over the top of D, and then G, you could use a G major pentatonic. So those are your pentatonic movements. Also, on the A minor, you can use a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, which gives you your A minor over the A minor. So your Aeolian mode, a minor scale, has a flat third, flat sixth, and flat seventh. When I say it has a flat third, flat sixth, and flat seventh, if you play do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, a major, 1, 2, 3, and flatten the 3, and you flatten the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to a 6, you get flat 3, flat 6, flat 7, minor. So when going through this, when we're jamming on A minor to a D major to a G major, I'm simply suggesting by going through these, when you play A minor, you can play your second modal structure, your third modal structure, and your sixth modal structure, because in those keys, all the notes are the exact same movements. Here's what it would make sense for. Here's an A minor. We're in the key of C. A minor is its sixth. So in A minor, I can play C major. If we're doing A minor to D to G, that first chord you hit, A minor, I could play a C major scale because they're relative keys. So that's one mode. It's Ionian and C, but it's relative. On the A minor, you can also play your A minor scale, do, 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 which aforementioned had the flat 3, flat 6, and flat 7. Or you can play your Dorian mode. So if I was going to be in the key of A, and I know that my A major is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, what happens when I start my A major and I do my do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do? If I start on my second and play that whole thing, drop out my A note, but start on my B note, it gives me a Dorian. B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. If I move that up and do Phrygian, I would start on my third note in A. So A major, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Instead of starting on the 1 or the 2, I start on the 3 for my scale, and I get C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B. And that is a minor mode. So I can play all these different modal structures over the same thing. I guess what I'm trying to say is when you're playing A minor, you're not limited to A minor pentatonic. You're not limited to C major over the top of an A minor because it's relative. You then can use your Dorian mode, starting off of your second, A major, B minor, and your third, and those two structures plus the A minor and the A pentatonic work perfectly over the top. So when you go to the D major in this supposable song from A minor, D major, G major, in the key of D, when you make that switch, you can play D major, you can play D Lydian with the raised fourth, you can play D mixolydian with a flat seventh. So the course of this, you've got a couple different options, and what the thing is, don't be overwhelmed by the vocabulary and what we're doing. Quite literally, this week when you go through these and we come back in 2 weeks from now, I'll just play the A minor to a D to a G, and while we're doing, oh, come on in. And while we're doing this, we can find ourselves completing these modal structures and these patterns, all right? I'm gonna send you another video too, which explains a little more of this in detail, but I can tell you this, you're doing an amazing job. I can't wait to see you. Also, we're gonna be at the new location next time, so I'll make sure that I give you a heads up before that. Aloha.